Hello everyone, I'm Meenakshi. Today I'm going to discuss theory of computation with you. This subject is very important for our computer science branch because this is the core subject for us, computer science or the IT people. Why this subject is core for the computer science student or the IT person? Because if you don't know the machine, if you don't know how to compute on your machine, then how can you operate on your machine? So that's why this subject is very important. In the GATE curriculum, that's why this subject is added. So according to the GATE curriculum, if I'm talking about the weightage or the marks weightage in your GATE exam for this theory of computation is around 8 to 12. In this subject, first we are discussing about the formal languages. What is the difference between the normal language and the formal language? The formal language is entirely based on the certain rules. Rules, that means the certain standard. Or it is a phrase-free languages, or it is a meaningless languages. So this word is very important, meaningless. Why I'm talking about the meaningless? Because in the formal language we don't have any synonyms. We cannot make any different type of synonym for this particular language. That's why this language is a formal language. For example, if I'm saying that triple A, so we don't have any synonym of this triple A in the formal languages. So this is a very major component for telling any formal languages why the formal language is formal only. So it's a very simple example in the English like statement also. If I'm the formal dressed, that means what? On the basis of certain rule I'm dressed up. So this is the basic thing. Apart from this, here I'm discussing one very important or the major portion of this particular subject or the theory, that is what? Chomsky hierarchy. In the Chomsky hierarchy, the Chomsky is divided a formal language into the 4 different categories. So these categories are designed, or these categories are represented with the help of set theory or the Venn diagram of the set theory. Why I'm talking about the Venn diagram, why this is the set theory, the entire thing I discuss in this particular session. So here we can start. First of all, what is the set and what is the subset? If I'm talking about this is the Venn or this is the universal block, in this universal block, if I'm talking about the certain entity set, I can represent by this oval shape or the Venn diagram. So this diagram indicates the certain set of the value like this. This is the set. Here we can declare L as a language, and this language is entirely represented by this Venn diagram. If I'm making another oval shape in between of this, that means what? This is the subset of L. That means the whatever the part of in this particular L dash, it's totally belongs to this. But the reverse is not true. For example, if I'm talking about this L also having certain another thing also, but L dash is not having any other thing apart from your particular L. So on the basis of this concept, on the basis of this theory, the Chomsky provide us a certain basic rules on the basis of the formal languages, on the basis of certain limitations also. So first is your type 3 language. Type 3, that means what? The regular language. If I'm talking about L as a formal language, in this formal language L, if I'll represent this language with the help of regular expression, that means what? This is what? Generator for you. Here we can use new terms, generator, and we can compute something and we can represent something and we can check something or validate something with the help of one another thing, that is what? Acceptor model. So this acceptor model is nothing but is your finite automata. So each and every language in your Chomsky is categorized with the help of these 2 things, that is what? Acceptor and generator. Acceptor, that means who's supposed to generate something. On the basis of certain rule, they can design the particular structure for you, and this structure is validate or ensured or generate certain output on the basis of your acceptor model. So formal language, the first category of formal language is what? Regular language. For the regular language, the generator model is nothing but is your regular expression, and the acceptor model is nothing but is your finite automata. Regular expression is nothing but the collection of different type of wildcard character for representing the occurrence of the value, for representing something, union, concatenation, and lots of things are there. The entire syllabus on the basis of the regular expression. But we have a few examples. like if I want to represent this formal language, in this formal language, the occurrence of n is greater than equals to 0. If I make the set for this particular language, the first value is nothing, that is a null. In this particular theory of computation or in your particular set value, we can represent something null or empty with the help of epsilon. So this is nothing but the zero occurrence of any particular value or the any particular string. We can use a word string. Why we are using a word string? Because the language or any formal language is a collection of string only. If the occurrence of any particular alphabet which belongs to the particular language, the occurrence representation or the pattern with the help of different alphabets is combined, it's nothing but the string only. So this is the 0 occurrence, then the second occurrence is 1, then 2, then 3, then 4 and so on. So this is nothing but the normal representation of your formal language with the help of set or with the help of set builder method. These two things is a part of your discrete. You know how to represent our set with the help of two different manner. These are the two different manner with the help of we can represent our set. The formal language is set of strings only. These two things we have covered. Now we can move on to this particular section. That section is what? Regular language. So the regular language having two different parts. The first is your generator, second is your acceptor, as I told you. So the generator model is convert this entire thing with the help of single expression. This single expression with the help of few wildcard character. This star indicate the occurrence of 0 or more of value or the of alphabet A. We can represent the entire language set with the help of this single statement. This single statement is called as a regular expression for you. We have the elaborated sections on the basis of this particular thing. How can I design the regular expression? How can I concatenate the regular expression? What are the meanings? We have the entire syllabus on this. But due to the basic presentation, we are just giving the introductory section of this particular topic. Now, move into this acceptor part. So, for the acceptor part, what is the acceptor part exactly? What is the meaning of acceptor? We have one box design for this acceptor model. This is one of the box. In this, we can give or we can provide any W from your language L and we can validate according to the particular validator of the FM model. If it is belongs to your particular L or no. That is nothing but the normal validator for you. We have another category of FA also like a Mealy-Murray machines, but we have the another part also. That Mealy-Murray is the output generator, finite automata or the machine, but it's not a part of this particular session, but we have this type of thing also. This finite automata is entirely based on the validation. If you are giving certain W, the task of this finite automata is just to check this W is belongs to this L or not. If it is belongs, then they can validate yes, it's a part of your language. If it is not, then they can directly indicate that it is not a part of this particular language. This finite automata is designed with the help of state transition diagram, with the help of state transition table, with the help of state transition notation. That means what? We can represent this finite automata with the help of three different notation. As I told you, state transition diagram, state transition table, state transition notation. So lots of things are there, but here we are discussing only state transition diagram first for the basic knowledge. State transition diagram, we have two things. If you know the graph theory, that's why the discrete mathematics is the core subject for your computer science. If you know the graph theory, if you know the basic set theory, then you can easily understand the subject. So according to the curriculum, that's why the GATE is included this maths also in your particular syllabus. So discrete mathematics is, that's why very important. In your discrete mathematics in the graph theory, we have a topic of graph theory. In our graph theory, we have two things, vertices and edges. So with the help of vertices and edges, we can design or we can make this type of diagram here. We have a language L, which is epsilon A double A, or in short a to the power n is greater than equals to 0. We have a regular expression for this also, that is what a star. Now we are going to create a FA for this thing. So for the FA, we have the initial start condition or the initial state. We can represent by this arrow and this particular vertex symbol. After this, we are making the state number over there, that is what Q0, and we are making a recurrence, or we are making any repetition of your particular value with the 0 occurrence also. That means this is also a final state for me, because I don't want to give any particular input, I just want to print any epsilon over there. So we can directly stop on this particular first state only. We have the categorization of your Q0, initialize or initial state. Another one, if I'm making mark like this, that is what a final state for you. This is what final state. Apart from this, on this particular state, we are just making any loop of your A. That means the multiple occurrence of your A. This is nothing but the normal finite automata for this particular language, the language known as your regular language. So we just merge up all these things and make one short note on this particular thing. Regular language is regular expression, finite automata. Example, a to the power n is greater than equals to 0, this is your L. Regular expression A star, finite automata, it's like this. But why this is in the part of the inner block only? Because they have the certain limitation. Formal languages, informal languages, the regular language is there. The regular language having a certain limitations. We cannot give or we cannot generate this type of string. This string is required the previous occurrence number. In our string, we have the certain dependency also. I want to just print double A, double B. On the basis of A occurrence, I want to print the B also. So we cannot print this type of thing, or we cannot generate, or we cannot check exactly with the help of this particular regular language. That's why we can move on to the top hierarchy. According to the Venn diagram, according to the set theory, we have the certain limitation. On the basis of limitation, we are just moving into the top block. So the second block is nothing but is your type 2. So this is what? Type 3. This is your Venn. In your Venn, we have type 3, but we have a limitation. On the basis of limitation, we are moving into the second step. The second step is overcome all the limitation, whatever the limitation in your particular regular language. By doing something, that means what? Memorization. Memorization means what? In your context-free language, we can denote this formal language as a context-free language. In this context-free language, we have a memory feature also with respect to your finite automata. And apart from this, we can write this particular thing or generate this particular thing with the help of new concept, the concept of grammar. This concept is also there. We have a regular grammar also. We can say that this is the regular grammar. So on the basis of this particular thing, we have a regular grammar also. In your context and context-free language, we have a context-free grammar also. In your context-free grammar, we have lots of things, but overall, these are the certain production rules. See, I'm just giving a basic trailer on the basis of this particular topic. We have an entire elaborated portion also. We'll just summarize all these things and produce something in front of you, why this subject is important and what are the major components are there. So in your particular context-free grammar, we have a certain production rules. Production rules, that means what? For generating any particular language. What are the example for this context-free language? We have an example, A to the power n, B to the power n. We cannot perform this type of operation also. We have a certain limitation. कैसे solve करता हूँ? How can I solve this thing and how can I resolve this particular problem? We'll discuss later. Apart from this, we have the accepted model also, that is what? PDA, push down automata. What are the changes in this particular? This is nothing but the Memory based finite automata. Memory based finite automata, that means what? In this box, still we are doing what? We are just giving any particular W, we are checking this W is belongs to L or this W is not belongs to L with memory concept. This is nothing but the PDA. We have certain things, we have lots of examples on the basis of this particular CFL. How can I design this context free grammar? How can I simplify? How can I check the ambiguity of this particular context free grammar? How can I design the PDF? We have lots of topics on this particular session. Apart from this, we are not stopped on this particular context free language. We have certain limitation also in this particular context free language. That's why we are just moving on to this particular type 0. Why type 0? Why not type 1? Because we have few things in this particular session also, that is what decision properties or the decidability problems or the algorithmic problem. We have lots of things over there. We'll discuss later according to the requirement. Undecidability ka problem or lots of issues are there. That's why we are not implementing this particular type 1. That is what context sensitive languages. But we have a phrase structure also. We have a grammar structure. That grammar structure is nothing but what? CSL. In this CSL, CSG is there. For this CSG, we have linear bounded automata also. We can make this type of thing with the help of linear bounded automata. That means what? The generator part is nothing but is your context sensitive language, and the acceptor part is nothing but is your linear bounded automata. But after this block is not ended. Type 1. After type 1, the entire thing is represented by your recursive enumerable languages. Recursive enumerable languages, here we are going to create the exact thing, that is what? Turing machine. Whatever the name we are using, the meaning of that name is nothing but the machine only. The automata is also a machine. It's just a Greek word. It's just another synonym for the machine. We are making a different type of machine. So with the help of this machine, we are implementing the entire problems. Whatever the problem you have, you can implement with the help of your Turing machine. But still, this Venn diagram also having a universe. Apart from your particular Turing machine, apart from your recursive enumerable language, few languages are there which is not described or designed or validated by this. That's why the PhD people are doing their PhD on this theory, on this particular Turing machine concept, or on this particular artificial intelligence, and lots of things are there. So this is also a research based subject for you. You can do your own researches also on this particular topic. So summarize all these things and give the mathematical relation on the basis of this particular topic. I'll just end up my session by giving this summary. The summary is based on the maths concept. I plus 1 is the subset of your I. T, it stands for your type, the type of language. T3 is the subset of T2. T2 is the subset of T1. T1 is the subset of T0. As I told you, on the basis of your set theory in the starting, the Chomsky represent the entire thing. The entire Chomsky is based on this concept. Another part, the formal languages. The formal language is regular language, context free language, context sensitive language, recursive enumerable languages. For these languages, two things are there. That is what? Generator model, acceptor model. Generator model, regular expression, context free grammar, context sensitive grammar. And this grammar is also the another part, the regular or the recursive enumerable grammar or the phrase free grammar also. For this, we have finite automata, PDA, push down automata, linear bounded. Because of the decidability or undecidability issue, we are not making this type of thing, or we are not making this type of automata. And the last one is your Turing machine. That's it. Thank you.